All right, so first question. Um, just give me name, title, background, and how did you get started in cannabis?
Okay. So, my name is Malachi. I'm inventory manager here at Marion, Maine. My background really doesn't have much to do with cannabis. I started in sales as well as project management. And starting here, well, I was kind of just peeking around, reading articles about Marion, Maine getting started up. All of the information around Marion, Maine was really exciting. So I was just kind of keeping tabs on it. And when I finally moved back home from Maryland after working and living up in Massachusetts, I decided to reach out to our manager Dexter about a position here. I was initially trying to get started as a bud tender, a regular sales agent, and they had a different position open it up, and they saw a use for me, so they brought me along. Black History Month means a time to recognize the achievements that have come before us, all the black people that were central to starting this country and pushing black people forward. It's just a time to remember and acknowledge that. It's amazing working at a dispensary, to be honest with you. This is the first job I actually had a real interest in. I feel really grateful. I know most people don't have the opportunity to wake up and go to a job that they actually care about. So it's amazing. I like being able to directly impact the community, give this natural medicine to people that need it, especially black people. It's hard to put into words what it means really to work at a black owned business, especially in my hometown of PG County. I wish every black person had the opportunity at some point in their life to work, in a black owned business operation, just to be able to be around black excellence. I regularly get examples from our ownership and my coworkers of what black excellence looks like. I get to, go into work every day not having to put on a face or feel like I need to be anybody else, which is a huge plus coming from prior jobs where that wasn't the case. So it's a real comforting feeling. It's a real family feeling here, especially at Marion, Maine. So it just takes a weight off my shoulders. I can go in and be who I want to be, and just focus on the work at hand. It's very important, especially when you talk about keeping the money within the black community. What other way to do that than to work in an established black-owned business? At a first glance, legal cannabis just means the access to all adults everywhere to be able to use the plant. It makes me excited on one hand and kind of concerned and worried on the other hand. The excitement comes from just the access that everyone will have to this medicine to be able to use it however they need. And then on the other hand, the concern comes from cannabis being like the one of the main reasons why black people are locked up or interrogated by the police. So it worries me that black people might not be able to benefit from this new coming industry, this legal use industry that's coming down the pipeline. That's my main concern on the flip side of it being accessible for everybody.
Hi, my name's Ayana. I'm a supervisor here at Marion, Maine, and I got started in this industry at another dispensary. I was in the mental health care field. I was actually in graduate school studying to be a clinical mental health counselor. And then I decided to dedicate my life to learning and teaching people more natural ways of helping and healing themselves. To me, Black History Month is world history. It is art history, music history. Basically, there is no story without Black people. And that's why I think our history is too magnificent to try to squeeze into the shortest month of the year. Yet we do an amazing job, time and time again, of showing people just how magnificent we truly are. I absolutely love working at a Black-owned business in the center of a predominantly Black community like PG County. I came from a predominantly white community and I still worked really hard, but it's just something about being surrounded by your own people that makes you super comfortable. I love helping my own people, and I just feel like in America, especially in the medical field, we are not the prime focus. So to be surrounded by my people, knowing that I'm helping my people, it just does something to my soul. Working at a predominantly white dispensary surrounded by predominantly white clients, I still gave my all. I still definitely cared about their health, but it's something to help somebody and they walk in with a Confederate flag on. That kind of just, makes you feel some sort of way. The people that I'm helping, I care about, and I know that they care about me. I know that they care about my life and they care about my Black life. Whereas before I came from a place where they would kind of make fun of the Black Lives Matter movement by wearing things that say like Old Lives Matter or things like that. And I don't experience that here. It's all love because we are one extended family in this area. Cannabis legalization to me means that we can start doing more research on cannabis. We can start really getting down to the bottom or even the middle or even just scratching below the surface of how medicinal cannabis really is. We already know that it's helping with a lot of different ailments, but that's with a little bit of research that has been allowed to be conducted, and that's literally very small. So with the legalization, there'll be more research, which means soon there will be more knowledge, and knowledge is always power.
My name is Dr. Octavia Simpkins Wiseman. I am the CFO at Marion, Maine Cannabis Dispensary in Capitol Heights, Maryland. I started in the cannabis industry 4 or 5 years ago when my daughter came to me to talk to me about getting involved in this new budgeting industry here in the state of Maryland. I am a licensed practicing dentist. I have been for 25 years. I started back in 1992 here in the state of Maryland. This is a brand new field for me, a new industry for me. I'm very excited about it. I am currently a breast cancer survivor, and I used cannabis during that time to help alleviate the pain that I was going through the chemo, and the surgeries, and the radiation. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but it definitely is a turning point in my life. It has changed how I feel about cannabis, how I feel about living daily, and I'm very excited about being able to bring this medicine to others who need help the way I needed help, and others need it in other ways. So I'm very excited to be a part of this industry. I'm very excited to be working side by side with my daughter. I'm very excited to be working with my friends and all of the employees that work here at Marion, Maine. I'm very excited to be here with them. We function as a team. We work as a team. I love it. I am excited about Black History Month and what's going on with Black History Month. We are one of the few fully 100% owned Black dispensaries in actually United States of America. My daughter was the youngest African American woman to own a dispensary in the United States. So we're proud of those facts. We're proud of all the patients that come to us and that we are able to serve them in our community. We live, we work here, we play here, we have fun here in Prince George's County. I'm very excited to be a part of that and to bring it to you, to bring it to our patients, our clients, our friends, our family. So we are very happy here at Marion, Maine, and we just want to spread that love and happiness to everyone else. Before 5 years ago, did not know a whole lot about cannabis, never really thought about it very much. But in the process of learning about what it is, what this plant can do, what it has done for a lot of people, I've also learned about the negative parts of it and the incarcerations and how many people get arrested for just having a small amount of marijuana, cannabis on them. And the legalization is going to change that story for a lot of African American people. No longer will they be incarcerated for having small amounts of cannabis on them. Now that's their medicine. And a lot of people have been self-medicating themselves for years. Now they don't have to self-medicate and hide. They can come out with it and they can use this medicine to benefit them. Also, they're expunging a lot of records, so that means a lot to me here at Marion, Maine. We try to work with people on it, getting their records expunged. So we're very excited to be a part of that as well, and I hope it continues to grow and mushrooms out into something much bigger, and more people can get those records expunged from their, records, because it causes a negative connotation to their life structure of trying to get jobs and that kind of thing. So I'm excited about, legalization.
Well, my name is Dexter Parker. I am the general manager here at Marion, Maine. I came to this industry sort of by chance. I originally started as in fashion, and I matriculated my career into interior design, and that's how I met ownership here. And because of my retail experience, I ended up operating as the general manager here at Marion, Maine. Black history is what happened yesterday. It's what happened last month and last year with the unprecedented events surrounding the deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and all the countless injustices that go on unpublished. Black history is us. Here at Marion, Maine, we represent the 1% of people of color that are allowed into an industry that disproportionately affected our community with the senseless war on drugs. A war produced in an effort to further disadvantage our entire race. Black history is what I see when I look in the face of my mother, my aunts, and my grandparents. It's what I see when I read the legacy of my family. Black history is the life that I have lived and the people I've helped and touched along the way. It is also, but not only, our journey as a people, the compound experience of our ancestors and their contribution to a world that would not exist if not for their relentless dedication to family and their commitment to truth. To quote Maya Angelou, I wouldn't take nothing from my journey now. Working at a dispensary is quite rewarding, more so than I ever thought it would be. I actually find great joy in the work that we do here, helping people, seeing people's lives transformed from what they were to what they can become with the use of the cannabis plant has been pretty impressive. Seeing people come off of opioids and reduce their opioid addiction, watching people heal themselves from the pain that they suffer because of any debilitating diseases has been quite rewarding. And working here at Marion, Maine, a Black owned and operated dispensary has been rewarding because I've actually never worked for an organization of this nature. And to know that we are here to give back to our community has been rewarding in and of itself. So I grew up in the 60s and the 70s. So the legalization of cannabis, has been eye-opening. And to think about, what has happened to people of color and communities of color because of this drug, to see it legalized is quite amazing. And I hope that there's some type of prison reform that comes along with, the legalization throughout our country, and that this industry can help the people that it really abandoned early on.
My name is Dwight. I'm part of the management team here at Marion, Maine. My background is actually in IT, project management, and training. And I got started here from a friend who thought that my personality would be a great fit for here. So I interviewed. A year later, here I am. Black History Month is really important to me. While I think Black History Month should be all year long instead of just 1 month, it's really important that we have this time to bring up people that are not even known. We use simple devices every day like our cell phones. That was invented by a black man. Nobody knows that. So Black History Month is really important. Well, this is my first time actually working for a black-owned business. My first time working for a small business. Like I said earlier, my background is in project management and IT. So a lot of the time working for those large corporations, you don't feel like you have a voice. Here, I feel like my ideas are heard, and also I can see the direct impact for my ideas as well as my coworkers' ideas, impact on the community. We do things like HIV testing, voter registration, and also expungement clinics for people who have criminal history with marijuana. Working at a cannabis dispensary is a lot of fun. I would say that it's educational. I learn things every day. I have patients that come in and tell me their doctor said one thing, and then I'm doing research and I'm looking up other things. What's great is you can see the direct impact that the medication has on customers. You're helping people get off opioids, helping people with chronic pain. You're helping people that can't sleep. And marijuana is a medicine that's helping a lot of people with very little side effects. Cannabis legalization is really important to me. I can see how much cannabis helps people, and there's really no reason why it's illegal, honestly. So I'm really hoping that it becomes legal on a federal level.
Hi, my name is Justin. I work with Marion, Maine as one of our lead supervisors. I've been here since the grand opening about 2.5 years ago. And it is a small family-owned business that one of the owners asked me to come and join, and I'm happy that I've been here ever since. Black History Month is an amazing time to celebrate our rich heritage and history, not only in this country but around the world. We have a lot to be proud of for the achievements of the people who came before us, and we also have a responsibility to carry those torches and teach the next generations our rich heritage. And so this month is a great opportunity to do it. So working for a black-owned business is amazing because I get to work amongst my own fellows, peers who have like minds. I get to see growth in our community and be a part of that growth. It's an awesome opportunity, and I am thankful for it. And working at a dispensary, come on, it's an opportunity to shed a spotlight on cannabis, which is a great medicinal plant that a lot of people don't have access to right now. To see cannabis become federally legal would be awesome because it gives a lot of people an opportunity to use a plant that can serve many needs. We in this country rely heavily on pharmaceuticals to treat our symptoms, and there are a lot of repercussions from taking those medications for over a long period of time. Cannabis is not that harsh on your system. It synthesizes with your body. Can it be abused? Of course, just like anything else can. But it gives us an opportunity to have access to something that may be a better fit for our system than some of the pharmaceutical medicines. Also, it would stop all of the petty incarcerations, people who are being charged heavily for minor violations. None of that's necessary, and it would mean an opportunity to get those people who have been in prison for a long time for something like a cannabis can work on seeing their freedom again.
My name is Rob Black Jr. and I'm the marketing manager here at Marion, Maine. I started in this industry about 6 months ago. I come from a background within property management, a really traditional, more conservative type of industry. And coming into this new industry of cannabis is really exciting because it's such a young industry and there's so many unknowns. This opportunity, when I saw it presented to myself, I wasn't too sure of what to think of it, but the more that I've been entrenched in it, the more I've learned about the benefits of cannabis and how it really can affect patients and those that have chronic illnesses. It's really just an exciting time to be a part of this industry, so I'm excited to be here. Black History Month, it's really a special time of the year for me because it's a time that we get to celebrate so many pioneers that really push what black excellence is. Whether it was people that were abolitionists within the movement for the end slavery, such as Frederick Douglass, or to those that pushed the boundaries within the civil rights movement, such as Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Medgar Evers, or even going down to people such as Maddie Tyler or Peggy Carter or Joel Tucker or Leon Carter. I mean, these people are part of my black history because these are the people that paved the way for my immediate family. So when I think of black history, I don't think just about in terms of the ones that are celebrated by mass media, but I think about the people that have impacted my lives on an everyday basis, such as my father, Robert Black Sr., which I carry his namesake. And I think about when, him being a young youth within Washington, D.C., the metropolitan area, and when he was 17 years old, he was shot for being black at the wrong time, at the wrong place. He clung onto his life for several days, and I think about the decisions that he had to make while he was sitting there, laying there, trying to recover and recuperate and gain his senses, that this decision to carry on to live would impact generations to come, because I was able to be born, and then my children would be able to born, and their children were able to carry on his legacy within my family, which is the black family. So when I think of black history, I think of the significance of those that are local and those that are immediate too, not just for those people that are celebrated by the mass media, but black history is our legacy. It's who we are and what we are to come. So working at a black-owned business is exciting because I come from a background of working within large organizations. To be within a black business, it's a lot different because, like, for example, this morning I'm listening to go-go music. I'm listening to Backyard Band. Tomorrow I may listen to Northeast Brewers or Junkyard Band or Rare Essence or Black Alley. Go-go music is black music. So to be able to listen to this music and not have someone turn a side eye or tell me to turn my music down, or I have to put on something that's more in line to what they deem as appropriate music, it's exciting to be at a business that welcomes my culture because they are from my culture. So to be at a black business that understands the rights and understands the challenges and the struggles of what our community is, because a lot of the work that we're doing here at Marion, Maine is fantastic work, and that's really what excited me to come here, because the things that we're doing in the local community, as mentioned before, things we're doing with the expungement clinic and HIV testing and voter registration, and the things we have with our food market that we have during a certain time of year, and we have food trucks here supporting local black businesses. So it's actually bigger than just what we're doing here in cannabis, but we're doing something that's very paramount and has a significant influence for our local community. One of the great things about working here is that you get to see how you can impact the community immediately. For example, someone comes in and they're having issues with some chronic illness, such as back pain or spasms or anything along that lines, that you can provide some type of treatment that's going to help them function throughout the day and alleviate the necessity of having to feel like you're doing this by yourself. Like, for example, myself, I battle with inflammation, and I have an autoimmune disease. And with me, inflammation is a significant problem, and it impacts my daily life. And having cannabis as an option of treatment is vital for me, because then now I don't necessarily have to feel like I have to go through the day with pain or anything along that lines. So working at a cannabis dispensary is a fantastic opportunity to be able to educate our customers, our patients, or even potential patients about some of the things that you can do with this plant that's natural, that grows from the earth, and you can consume it in many different ways. Cannabis legalization, I think it's just something that really needs to happen. I think there's so much misinformation out there regarding cannabis that it really is impacting the way people look at what cannabis is, where even the word marijuana itself is a derogatory term. And, you know, we use the word marijuana even to get your license. You have marijuana license to sell cannabis. So that word is still continues on and it's carried on since this campaign was launched back in the early 1900s to demonize what cannabis is. But now, being in the industry, I understand the significance of what cannabis means and what it means to our community and what it means to those that are looking for help or looking for a means to care for themselves without having to go through the means of pharmaceuticals, which a lot of times when you're taking like ibuprofen or anything along the lines, the long-term effects are damaging, where you have this plant that is a very natural plant that comes into your body that doesn't provide all those different challenges. Another thing is that cannabis legalization means that it's no longer considered a Schedule I drug along the lines of like heroin or cocaine or crack or anything along that lines. That cannabis legalization is something that, you know, will be able to be further researched, because there's not a lot of research that is going on regarding cannabis. So cannabis legalization means that NIH and all these different places can sit there and really go through what the medicinal benefits of what cannabis means to them.
Hi, my name is Hope Wiseman. I'm the CEO and founder of Marion, Maine. I got started in this business around 2014, the year that I graduated from college. I realized that cannabis would be one of the largest emerging industries, probably of my lifetime. And I saw it as an opportunity to build generational wealth for my family, as well as an opportunity to teach other people how to do it themselves too. And what better way to do that as a Black woman who's trying to uplift her Black family in an industry that has been built on the backs of Black and brown people. It's all about celebrating that fact that we have come so far as a people and that we're still doing really amazing things, and highlighting that. So I'm so excited that Marion, Maine gets to be a part of that history. Running a dispensary is really exciting. You get to connect really with the heart of our community, and we get to hear people's issues, from things that they're experiencing from an anxiety and depression standpoint, and for more pinpointed health issues and ailments that people are experiencing. So it's really fulfilling to be able to help people in their wellness journey and give them an alternative source and form of medicine. Cannabis legalization should be a form of reparations for the Black community. When you think about it, the war on drugs specifically targeted Black and brown communities. And we've seen mass incarceration come in and completely destroy our communities and families within the Black and brown community. So I really believe that now that legalization is on the forefront, reparations, that's the real point of it. We should be first focusing on social justice and ensuring that everybody who has past convictions and that is currently in prison because of low-level nonviolent cannabis crimes should be released immediately and their records should be immediately expunged, first and foremost. There needs to be some law reform, which we've already seen happening with the DEA kind of lowering their aptitude to actually prosecute cannabis companies, but we need to see total law reform, and I feel like that's number one with cannabis legalization. Then number two is really reinvesting into these communities with the tax revenue that's being generated. We're seeing hundreds of millions of dollars flow into government now from cannabis legalization, but we need to ensure that this money is going back into the communities that have been most impacted by the war on drugs, and specifically those families that have been impacted. And I believe that this is where the true reparations piece comes in. And then lastly, I'd say social equity is the next focus. We have to ensure that people who come from these communities have an opportunity to participate in the economic side of the industry. We know it's hot, it's sexy right now, it's the industry that everyone wants to get in, but the barriers to entry are super high. So we need to lower those barriers as well as give set-asides to ensure that people who have been affected by the war on drugs have an opportunity to now benefit from an economic standpoint. Thanks so much for hearing our experience and what we believe cannabis legalization looks like and why we're so excited to celebrate Black History Month. We understand that we are living Black history right now, and we just cannot wait to continue to grow with our community and continue to build a really equitable industry. Thanks again for watching The Main Line, and we'll be here next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. See you then.